Hello, my little Luxes. Welcome back to another Luxy Charms. And I'm your host, charsielux. You know what? I'm wondering, is this the last episode for Luxmas? I mean, technically, even for my scary stories and everything like that, they can be Luxmas themed and everything. And to be fair, I haven't had a theme in a very long time, and it has been so much easier not following a theme, but I've kind of vaguely have themes when it comes to holidays and that kind of stuff. And also when I've been doing the series that's a theme in itself because we had the Critters franchise where I just got done talking about each one of the movie reviews for the Critter films. And I just now finally got the ranking up and it's available. So you can hear my final thoughts on the Critter films and find out what is my ranking. And a lot of you are kind of the same but different from my ranking. So it's really nice seeing the differences and how each film holds a different value for everybody. So I love hearing your stories and just finding out why certain films are your favorites or why certain ones are despised, whereas, like, I talk about the fact that I love the franchise. But anyway, back on topic here. This is how fast I can run off the rails when it comes to conversations. I honestly should have a podcast, but you know what? I can just yap just fine on my own, but whatever. Anyway, so today's episode, if you couldn't tell by the title, I am talking about all of your favorite Christmas and holiday favorite films. And those are focused on traditional and horror, because obviously, when it comes to my page, my channel here, I love and I'm obsessed with horror. So, yes, I want to talk about the horror Christmas and holiday themed films. I mean, duh. But I also want to talk about the traditional films as well, because Christmas, especially when it came to growing up and with my family, it will always hold this very special feeling. And it always brings that nostalgic, happy tone where it doesn't matter what's going on in the world, that if I put on Christmas music or if I put on a good old holiday film that I used to watch all the time with my family growing up, it brings back that wonderful feeling. So I put it out there to ask every single one of you, what are your favorites? And of course, there's a lot of them that were mine as well, because last year I had talked about my favorite holiday horror films that I like to watch for Christmas time for the month of December. So it's only fair that I also try and find out what are all of your favorite films. And what's also nice is there's a lot of films on there that I haven't seen. So one of those getting more films added to my to watch list, because that doesn't keep growing and growing every day. So I am ecstatic about how huge this list became, because I did something very similar a couple months ago when I did my Halloween favorite films and also when I talked about your favorite Halloween films. But I love the fact that we have well over 60 films when I'm talking about this one. And I asked for it all. And I'm going to give a shout out to my buddy Alex, because of course he went with the silly and ridiculous, because I had said all of it. If you watch it for the holidays and consider it that way, it's going on here. So let's jump into this. Let's get into it and go through talking about all of these films. So let's talk about it. And yes, I am old-fashioned. I mentioned this before. I have my handy-dandy little notebook here where I'm going to discuss your guys' picks. And it's easier for me to do it this way because guess what? Everything that was on my phone, I use my phone for recording. So It's just easier if I write things down. But anyway, let's get going and let's talk about these films. Now, some of these films, like I said, the ones that I don't know, I'll obviously talk about the fact and maybe do like a quick like IMDb little plot summary of them. But I was going to say, if I talk about every single one of these films at length, this is going to be a long video, which we all know I can do that just fine on my own anyways. Maybe we should turn this into a drinking game. I don't know. Or not. I don't want you people drunk or anything. Have some holiday eggnog. So I just wrote everything down. So we're just going to go down the list. It's in no particular rhyme or reason, no order. So I have Santa Sleighs. And that one is so fantastic and badass. It's been a long time since I've last seen that one, but I remember how good it is. Last time I watched that, oh my gosh, believe it or not, I think my dad was still alive. So that was pre-2015. That's how long it's been since I've seen it. But I remember how good that one is. And then Christmas Bloody Christmas. And I just saw that one for the first time. And I even got my hubby into that one because I've been teasing him lately because his computer setup is right next to the TV. So if I'm sitting there watching a movie, next thing I know, he pops in and ends up sitting there watching the movies with me. So we were making the joke how this one definitely was influenced by Terminator and just had that feeling of it just kept going and going, or the evil Energizer Bunny. That's another good analogy to put it, because this robot evil Santa just kept going and going. And he was going to get his mark no matter what. The next one is Violent Night. Now, I haven't been lucky enough to watch this one yet, and I had this one in my queue to watch this season. Wouldn't you know it, I can't remember which streaming service had it. If I remember correctly, it probably was Prime. And I had saw it there, I had put it in to watch later. Wouldn't you know it, the month of December comes along, because that's when I wanted to watch it. It disappeared. It's no longer available to stream for free through Prime. I don't understand that kind of stuff where it's like, why would you take a holiday horror film off during the month of December? It was so weird. So I haven't been able to watch it yet, but I hear amazing things about it. And several people had that on their list. Then there's the Tales from the Crypt holiday special. So that one, of course, is a classic as well. Which somebody else had also mentioned the Creepshow holiday special. I really enjoy that one. That one's one of those where I have to pop that on. So it was fun seeing both of these old TV shows, and new because they've been renewed and keep going. But it's awesome to see that other people enjoy the holiday specials for these as well. Several people had Rare Exports on their list, and it's just even more ironic because of the fact that I finally got to watch that for the first time ever, and that was one of those where I had watched it, and then literally just a couple days later, it was the movie that they were showing on the last drive-in holiday special, which is an excellent Finnish holiday horror film, and it is so creepy, and they do an excellent job of just having that strange yet still holiday vibrant feel to it. So I definitely recommend that one for sure. So it didn't surprise me that several people had that on their list. Ginger Dead Man, that one is hysterical. Also another one that they just had on the last drive-in not that long ago. So that is a fun one to watch for the holiday season as well. Quite a few people had this on their list, and it's also on mine as well, and that is Christmas Vacation. So that is not a surprise at all. That is a family tradition that me and my family would watch it every Christmas, and it is so good, hysterical. So I wasn't surprised to see several people have that on their list. A couple people had Bad Santa on theirs, which is one of those that I'm kind of interested to see the one that just came out with Jack Black that's called Dear Satan. So I'm curious to see that one, if any of you have seen it and what you think of it. I've heard good things so far, that it's pretty funny and it's got that feeling of old school humor. So I don't know why Bad Santa, well, I mean, obviously, that is old school, dark, dirty humor. So I don't think Dear Satan is to the same level of raunchiness as Bad Santa, but that is a funny one to watch during the holidays. Several people had Silent Night, Deadly Night, which then also had Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. So there were quite a few people that had several of them, and it's weird because Silent Night, Deadly Night, the second one, basically is retaking the first one and retelling it in a different way, and they reuse a lot of the clips from the first one too. And that's one that would be fun to just go over the history with that one, because it's unique how they even ended up coming up with the sequel in the first place. And some people prefer the sequel over the original first one, even though they took clips from the first one. But anyway, carrying on. Jack Frost, and this one was for the horror Jack Frost, not to be confused with the family friendly one. Nobody had the family friendly one on there. As cute as that one is, the horror Jack Frost is amazing. I love how cheesy it is, how bad it is, but it's fantastic. And that's one on my list as well. So I'm happy to know other people love and appreciate it. One that was on a list that I had completely forgotten about this film, and it is so good with a unique twist ending, and that is Dead End. So I definitely recommend that one. If you haven't seen it, I believe it's free to stream on Tubi right now. It is definitely one to watch this holiday season, and I had the reminder of it, so I'm going to try and watch it sometime soon. Several people had The Muppets Christmas Carol on theirs, and I love this movie as well. This is that feel-good, nostalgic, traditional film that I was talking about, that anytime I watch this film, it gives me the good feelings and brings me back to that feeling of childhood wonder and just being in a good headspace. So super happy to see several people had this one on their list as well. I'm getting all kinds of help from my cats right now. Several people had Scrooged on their list, and that is the film with Bill Murray. Love this film, and I believe I even mentioned it last year, but I know it's on my list. My husband had never seen it before, and we watched it together, and he saw it for the first time ever last year. And I love Scrooged, and I love the dark tone to it. Like, it makes me think of the same ideas, like a Tim Burton feeling film, Ghostbusters. It has that dark tone to it, but it's still a holiday classic. Several people had It's a Wonderful Life on their list. That does not surprise me. What did surprise me was finding out some of the history of It's a Wonderful Life. Apparently, it was a flop when it first came out. But because of that fact, it was super cheap to the network and everything that they used to play it on TV. And since it was so dirt cheap, they just consistently put it on TV. So people ended up watching the film and falling in love with it years later, even though the film wasn't successful when it first came out. And now to this day, people still regard it as one of their favorite holiday Christmas films to watch. So I love that fact. So one of those things to keep reminding ourselves, that just because you fail in the moment doesn't mean that it might rise above and become something afterwards. One of the lists had the movie Klaus on it, and I haven't seen this film, so I should look this one up and see what it's about. Alright, so IMDb's plot summary for Klaus is: a simple act of kindness always sparks another, even in a frozen, faraway place. That is quite the name. When Smerigenberg's new postman, Jesper, befriends toymaker Klaus, their gifts melt an old age feud and deliver a sleigh full of holiday traditions. Yeah, I'm not sure if I can say the name. Schmurensberg. but it sounds like a cute movie. It looks like it's a cartoon as well. So that one would be a fun traditional Christmas holiday movie to watch. This is no surprise. This is also one on my list, but the OG 1974 Black Christmas. This was on several people's list. So, does not surprise me. I love this one too. But someone also brought up the 2006 remake that they also enjoyed watching that Black Christmas as well. I also like the 2006 remake. Yes, I prefer the OG, but I still like the 2006 one because that one gives me a different kind of nostalgic feeling because that's exactly how 2006 looked. And I love the cast on that one as well. And I love Katie Cassidy, and she's the main character in that one. So it's gonna have a special place in my heart, anyways. But I love that other people love and enjoy Black Christmas. And what's not to love? It's one of the first original films to have the idea that the camera was the viewpoint of the slasher and that it's just a unique way and it helped influence future films to come. You gotta look to the old original horror films to get the appreciation, and it's well made and creepy as well. You can't go wrong there. Apparently, I put Santa's Sleigh down here twice. So I don't know if there was two different ones, but the Santa Sleigh that I remember, oh, there is another one. There's like a cheesy B-rated one that I think is called Santa's Sleigh. Hello, editing me here. I am popping in here real quick for obvious reasons, but I am confusing two movies. So the one with wrestler Bill Goldberg is Santa's Sleigh, and the B rated one that I'm thinking of is called A Christmas Sleigh. So similar, but not the same in any way or form. So I hope this correction helps. So yeah, there are two different ones. So I guess it makes sense that I wrote them both down. I'm assuming that they're the two separate ones. So, and maybe I'm mixing up the names. I'll probably have a little blurb or do an editing me popping in. We'll find out. A couple people had Christmas Evil on their list, and this one's been on my list to watch for a couple years now, and I need to just get around and watch it. And I know it is free to watch on Tubi right now. I believe it's also free to watch on Roku. So I just need to get around and watch it because I hear amazing things about Christmas Evil. A couple people had The Polar Express on theirs, and that is an adorable Tom Hanks. Of course, it's animated, but it is so good, and that is a nice traditional one to watch during the holidays. And that was my mother-in-law's one of her favorite Christmas movies, so that one will definitely hold a special place in my heart because of her and how much she loved and enjoyed it. So that one is a good one. Had a couple people who had Die Hard on their list, and I think you can guess at least one of those people that had Die Hard on their list, but I also like to watch Die Hard for the Christmas season. It's one of those where that was a family tradition because my dad loved Die Hard, and it was so good. It's got those one-liners that are just chef's kiss, and they will always be recognized like as soon as you hear them. Then there's Anna and the Apocalypse. This is one of those that is still on my list that I need to watch, and this is another one of those where it is in several of the streaming services I have, which I think includes Prime, so I have no excuse to not watch this. And I hear amazing things about it, that it's basically a horror movie, dark comedy, musical, but I hear amazing things about it and that it's super fun as well. This doesn't surprise me. We have a few people with Gremlins. I love Gremlins. It's just one of my favorite films anyways, so of course I watch this one for the holidays as well. It's also one of my comfort films. And you got Gizmo. I love Gizmo, and yes, it does not surprise me that others love this one as well. A good one someone brought up, and I totally spaced this out, but Edward Scissorhands. And it's like, oh my god, that is such an amazing movie as well. Perfect for the holiday season. It does have that Christmassy feel. So, yes, Edward Scissorhands, that's another good one. And that's why I love doing this kind of stuff because it's like things will pop up where I'm like, oh my god, that is an amazing movie. And I totally spaced out that it was holiday oriented. Now, this was one where several people had it on their list, and I'm not one of those people, but it's A Christmas Story. Maybe it's one of those things because of the fact that for years they have taken A Christmas Story and have put it on TV and have looped it 24 hours straight. When it's like, why? When there are so many classic holiday movies out there, why can't you play different holiday or Christmas movies during the 24 hours? Why does it have to be A Christmas Story the whole time? Because I can watch it that one time and then I am over it. And at my grandparents' house, they would put it on the loop the whole time. So, I mean, I get it. As a kid, you don't really care about the adult conversations and stuff like that. So it was just background noise for them. Where me as a kid, I just wanted to sit and watch the TV and I could have cared less what the adults were talking about. So that could be why too. But yes, several people had A Christmas Story on their list. Quite a few people had Elf on their list. Now, Elf holds a special place in my heart. I mean, I say that for a lot of movies, but it's true. And when you have a photogenic memory like me, a lot of them will just stick with you. Elf is special for the reason of, believe it or not, a 16-year-old Charcy going on her very first date. He took me to the movies and we saw Elf. So my very first movie that I ever saw in a date was Elf. So, which is weird because if I think about it, technically prior to that, I was on a date and I had gone and seen Jeepers Creepers. But it wasn't just us. We had another friend there with us, so I didn't really ever consider that, but technically that would have been a date with a friend along. But anyway, so my actually going on a date, like going to dinner, getting dressed up, and then going to the movies, back when you could afford all that, because things weren't atrociously expensive. Obviously, we can always talk about expenses, but Elf was the first one. So I love that so many people love this film. It is hilarious. It's cute. So a good one to watch with family. We have Shrek's Christmas special, and of course, it's a Christmas special, and it's cute. It's Shrek. So it does not surprise me to have something that cute on someone's list. We also have the 1951 Scrooge. Now, it's been a hot minute since I've seen that one, but that one is a classic, and it is so good. And technically, any of the Christmas carols are just good to watch. Granted, my favorite to watch is always going to be The Muppets Christmas Carol. That's a classic. A fun one to add was someone that said, I Trapped the Devil. They had said it's a Christmassy like one, so that was a unique one to have on the list where I'm like, yeah. And you know what? If you watch it as a tradition, that's what I had said. I had asked if it's a tradition, add it to the list. Have the 2017 Pottersville. I'm trying to remember this one because it's one of those where it sticks in my head. Let me look up the description to make sure I'm thinking of the right one. So the description is Maynard, a beloved local businessman, is mistaken for the legendary Bigfoot during an inebriated romp through town in a makeshift gorilla costume. That sounds fun. I don't think I've ever seen that. And I mean, it's just from 2017. So if I can't remember that, I have definitely not seen it. And that sounds hilarious. So I'll have to add that to my list and check that one out because that sounds funny. Nothing like getting inebriated on the holidays in a gorilla suit and becoming Bigfoot. That, you know what? We love a good, feel-good Christmas movie. All right, we're coming along the list of, I think you can guess who inspired all of these, and we've got Die Hard, Die Hard 2, Lethal Weapon, Lord of the Rings, the whole trilogy. because the saying that just came out is that on the day of the Fellowship, when they head out, was on December 25th. So, therefore, it is a Christmas trilogy. We also have Invasion USA. We have Fred Claus, which I have not seen Fred Claus, so I'll have to add that to my list to watch that one too. So my list keeps getting longer and longer. I'm realizing I should just be skipping through these very quickly because, like I said, I'm going to be talking quite a bit. But we have Better Watch Out, which I love the analogy that it is evil Kevin from Home Alone. So the kid Lucas, he's evil Kevin, and that's the best way to describe Better Watch Out. You have The Lodge. That is a good one with a very dark, sad ending. So another good horror holiday movie to watch. The Family Man. That is another cute one to watch for the holidays. Deadly Games. It's been a while since I've seen that one, so that's probably another one I should add to my list as well. Charlie Brown's Christmas. Self-explanatory. It's Charlie Brown. It's traditional. It's cute. Krampus. I'm excited that someone else had this on their list. I think the cat just bumped my light. Of course you did. I'm glad that somebody else had Krampus on their list because I love Krampus. It's one of those ones I had done a commentary on it, but wouldn't you know it, even though it was fair use and everything, I had commentary while over and talking about the film and giving facts. Universal Studios put a block on my video, which is why I'm so worried about some of the ones that I want to talk about, which I'm going to talk about them, and I'm just not going to use clips because I'm getting tired of copyright for fair use. Oh, that could be a whole video in itself of me just ranting and raving about YouTube not protecting their creators, and also the fact of these companies taking advantage of creators for fair use videos. It'd be different if I was taking the whole movie and just putting it up there and being like, there, that's a commentary. But when it's literally me and my hubby sitting there with a little screen up in the corner and with filters on top of it, so you're changing how it looks. But anyway, like I said, I could go on a whole rant about that. But I still love Krampus, even though Universal Studios are buttholes. There, I said it. Jingle All the Way. That is another fun, cute one with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh, it's so cute. It's a good one to watch. I'll Be Home for Christmas. I believe that is the one with Jonathan Taylor Thomas. That is an old classic as well. Ugh, the fact that I'm even admitting that that's old now. I remember when it came out. When you feel your age several times. I've been feeling my age for quite some bit now, but... So we have that one too. The Santa Claus 1 through 3. Cute, adorable films. My favorite of the whole entire franchise, though, is the first original. But it's still nice to see that it's a tradition for others as well. A Very Merry Cricket. I have never seen that one, but that one sounds like a cute one. I'm going to assume it's a cartoon one. Or maybe I shouldn't assume and just look it up real quick. It's an older one. It's from 1973. It's a little cartoon. Disgusted by the city's antisocial Christmas cacophony. Cacophony? I'm not sure what that word is. Harry and Tucker decide to ask Chester to come back to revive the holiday's true spirit. It sounds cute, and that it's an older cartoon, so I can understand that being a tradition, because I can still even remember the old cartoon, if anybody remembers Nick and Noel, with the dog and the cat. So that one was a cute one. Classic, Frosty the Snowman. That one is a must as well. Alright, we're getting down on the list. Like I said, I probably should have just gone down the list, but you know what? What's the fun in that? And we have The Night Before. It's been a hot minute since I've seen that one. That one is a cute one. Also, 8 Crazy Nights, and that one is a crazy one for sure. Old Adam Sandler animated film. I remember when that sucker came out too, so. And I believe that one's free to watch on Tubi right now, so if you ever want to watch it, that one is there. Don't Open Till Christmas. That's a good one as well, so I love that that was on somebody's list. Had also mentioned any Shane Black film. Touche. Arthur Christmas. I don't think I've seen that one, so let's look that one up too. Alright, so Arthur Christmas was from 2011. Santa's clumsy son Arthur sets out on a mission with Grand Santa to give out a misplaced present to a young girl in less than 2 hours on Christmas Day. So, yeah, I have not seen or heard of that one, so that one definitely sounds interesting. That one sounds like something that would just play on TV, but then again, I watch streaming services, so it might be why I've missed it. So that one sounds like a cute one. You also have Four Christmases. That is another good one. And that one I think is the one with Reese Witherspoon and everything. And why can't it? Vince Vaughn. I'm pretty sure that's the one with Reese Witherspoon and Vince Vaughn. If I'm wrong, I will correct myself here. If I'm right, nothing has changed. We also have Leprechaun Christmas. I'm going to look this one up because I don't know what the Leprechaun Christmas is. The only thing I'm seeing popping up is the Leprechaun's Christmas Gold. And that one is from 1981. An Irish sailor is stranded on an island full of leprechauns and soon finds himself aiding them in protecting their gold from a greedy hag. So that one sounds really cute, if that's the same one. If I'm wrong, if anybody knows of a different Leprechaun Christmas, but that sounds really cute, and it's an 80s little cartoon, it looks like. So you can't go wrong with the cute little classics. And on top of having classics, you also have Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and also The Year Without a Santa Claus. So any of those stop motion films are so classic and amazing, and they never age. They are always cute, amazing, and they just are traditional. So there you have it. I think we have gotten completely through the list, and like I said, I could have gone into full detail about every single one of these films, but I fear that this is already 45 minutes long, so I could just imagine how much worse it could have been if I would have just had the synopsis for all of them. But yes, here are all of your Christmas favorites, all of your horror favorites for the holidays, all of your holiday traditional watches, the ones that give you those good feelings, that nostalgic feeling. So thank you so much for sharing all of your favorites with me. And I'm super excited to know that several of my favorites are your favorites as well. And also being reminded of several ones that are amazing and to add to the list, which the same thing happened for Halloween as well. Makes sense. But like I said, I need to get around. I need to watch Christmas Evil. So shout out Chris. I will get to it before Christmas. If I don't, you know what? We can tar and feather me at that point. Might as well. Could be fun. Yes, once again, and as always, thank you so much for giving me your favorites, and thank you so much for watching. And I want to wish you all a happy holiday, a happy Yule, a Merry Christmas, a happy Kwanzaa, a happy Hanukkah, all of the holidays. I don't care what you celebrate. I want to wish you an amazing holiday spirit, just any good feeling, positivity, that we can just spread any kind of good feeling we can right now, because it's been a hell of a year. And I know it's not gonna stop anytime soon. I just want to put out good energy right here and now to all of you, and thank you for being here with me. And if you would like to continue following me, don't forget to like and subscribe and to join. And if you would like to follow me on my other social medias, there'll be a link in the description down below. And remember, I am the afterlife of the party, but I would love for you to join me in the afterlife of the party. And the easiest way to do that is to come and join me on my Patreon. And on the screen, you can see a shout out to all of my fellow Patreon members. So thank you so much, and your love and support continues to help motivate me to keep doing this and to keep moving forward. And also a special shout out to my Ultimate Luxes. So thank you so much to Chris Bruner and to Bishop. Thank you for being an Ultimate Lux with me. And always remember to slay, subscribe, like, and always be yourself. And for seasonal depression, since that's what I've been probably dealing with, or just depression in general, Your mental health is just as important as your physical health. So keep yourself level headed as much as you can, especially during these crazy, crazy times. I know I'm preaching to the choir. We'll just keep breathing. And if you got out of bed today, you're at least on a good level right there. And that's what I keep trying to tell and remind myself. I got up today. I put my pants on today. We're doing good. So, as always, thank you and have a Lux. Well, we could say Luxy Charms, but have a Luxmas holiday season. Bye.